Today, we mourn the passing of a true football legend, Jim Marshall. A fierce warrior on the field, a beloved figure off of it, and a man whose name is etched into the very foundation of NFL history. In this tribute, we'll journey through the full life story of Jim Marshall, from his early days in Ohio to a remarkable NFL career that spanned 2 decades. We'll explore his upbringing, college days, historic moments on the gridiron, personal life, lifestyle, and lasting legacy. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more heartfelt biographies of legends who shaped the world. Let's begin. Early life and family background. James Lawrence Marshall was born on December 30th, 1937, in Wilsonville, Kentucky, and raised in the rugged neighborhoods of Columbus, Ohio. Born to working-class parents, his father worked on the railroads, while his mother was a homemaker devoted to raising their children with discipline and faith. Jim was one of several siblings in a modest household, where hard work was instilled from a young age. The Marshalls didn't have much in terms of money, but they had a strong sense of family and resilience that would shape Jim's character for life. Education and high school career. Jim attended East High School in Columbus, Ohio. It was there that his athletic potential first caught the attention of coaches and scouts. Initially drawn to basketball and track, Jim's speed, size, and explosive strength soon made him a dominant presence on the football field. By his senior year, he was already regarded as one of the best high school linemen in the state. He earned all-state honors, drawing scholarship offers from colleges across the country. College career, Ohio State University. Jim Marshall chose to stay close to home and play for Ohio State University, one of the most prestigious football programs in the country. Under the guidance of legendary coach Woody Hayes, Marshall played as a defensive lineman and showcased both grit and agility. Though he only played one season, 1958, at Ohio State before deciding to pursue professional football, his impact was immediate. His performance earned him recognition as a powerful defender with a motor that never stopped. Professional football career. Jim's professional career began in 1960 when he joined the Cleveland Browns of the NFL. But it wasn't until he was traded to the Minnesota Vikings later, that same year, that his true legacy would begin to take form. Minnesota Vikings, 1961 to 1979. Marshall became one of the original members of the Purple People Eaters, the Vikings' legendary defensive line that terrorized offenses throughout the 1960s and 1970s. His career spanned an incredible 20 NFL seasons, and he never missed a single game during his time with Minnesota, a record-setting 282 consecutive games played, a benchmark of toughness, longevity, and consistency. Career achievements, Pro Bowl selection, 2x 1968, 1969, NFL champion, 1969, 4-time Super Bowl appearances, 4, 8, 9, 11, NFL record. Most consecutive games played by a defensive player, 282. Member of the NFL 1970s All-Decade Team. Member of the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor. Second in NFL history for fumble recoveries at retirement. Despite one infamous moment, returning a fumble the wrong way in a 1964 game, Marshall was embraced for his accountability and grace under public scrutiny. He laughed it off and never let it define him. Personal life, family, values, and challenges. Off the field, Jim Marshall was a humble, introspective man. He married Carolyn Marshall, and together they raised 2 children, a daughter and a son. He was a devoted father, known for his discipline but also his kindness. He was open about his struggles with depression and the challenges of retirement after football. In later years, Jim became an advocate for mental health awareness among athletes, sharing his experiences to help others. Marshall also engaged in various charity initiatives, including youth mentorship programs and work with the NFL Alumni Association. His legacy extended beyond football into the realms of compassion, resilience, and advocacy. Illness and death. In his later years, Jim's health began to decline. He suffered from the effects of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE symptoms, a condition increasingly associated with long-term football careers. Despite these challenges, he remained active in his community and continued to be a vocal advocate for player safety. Jim Marshall passed away on June 2, 2025 at the age of 87, due to complications related to neurological illness. The football world was united in grief, remembering him not just as a player, but as a pillar of strength and integrity. Lifestyle, cars, and houses. Marshall was never a flashy celebrity. Despite earning well during his NFL years, he lived a relatively modest lifestyle. His primary residence was a comfortable home in Minnesota, where he remained after retirement. Loyal to the state that embraced him, he did own a few luxury vehicles over the years, including a classic Cadillac Eldorado and later a Mercedes-Benz sedan. But he wasn't defined by materialism. He valued simplicity, community, and family over excess. Net worth. At the time of his death, Jim Marshall's estimated net worth was around $5 million. While not extravagant by today's superstar standards, his financial stability reflected a life of smart decisions, consistent work, and post-football business ventures. He earned income through endorsements, motivational speaking, and investments in local Minnesota businesses. Awards and nomination summary. Football Career Awards. 2 times Pro Bowl selection, 1968, 1969. NFL Champion, 1969. NFL 1970s All-Decade Team. Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor inductee. Ed Block Courage Award. Most games played by a defensive lineman. Record at retirement. Marshall has been a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame multiple times. Although he was not inducted during his lifetime, many believe that his time will come posthumously, a move that would be widely applauded. Legacy. Jim Marshall's legacy is immortal, not just for his stats or longevity, but for his spirit. He played with unmatched passion, led with quiet dignity, and inspired a generation of players who admired his toughness and character. Despite his infamous wrong-way run, Marshall taught the world how to recover from mistakes with humility and humor, turning a low moment into a lesson in perseverance. He leaves behind a legacy of Ironman durability, leadership in the locker room, civic and mental health advocacy, trailblazing visibility for defensive linemen. The Vikings have already retired his jersey number and spirit, and his impact lives on in every defender who never gives up, who plays every down like it's the last, and who leads by example. Jim Marshall may be gone, but his legacy will never fade. He wasn't just a player. He was a rock, a warrior, and an eternal Viking. If you were touched by Jim's story or his impact on the game, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep the memory of legends like Jim Marshall alive for generations to come. Rest in peace. Number 70. The game was better because of you.